Hey guys, hope you guys are doing all too not too shabby over here.
Hmm.
Four teams, Thunder up 3-1, Pacers and Knicks 2-1. Could the Pacers make it 3-1 winning at home? We'll find out in an hour.
Yeah,
Diego, a little bit of a long weekend. How was your break?
it was good. I was back home. Watched some of the games. Came back early on Sunday. Had a bunch of stuff to do here in the house. Trying to get hopefully the next few weeks. I'm gonna put some jerseys up here. I got like shadow boxes to put them in. I know that sounds like a magical thing, but it's just a deeper frame that you could put stuff in. So there will be some jerseys soon. Hopefully, I'm really hoping. But
Super flag, maybe?
no, not yet. I mean, I need to. I do actually need to make like a well, I don't even know if I would buy jerseys off this Chinese website. I don't know if they're still as cheap. They're like $20, and they look
Could you?
basically the same.
Okay, you gotta send me that website right now, man.
I don't know if it's still. I haven't checked it since like August that I bought. I bought like Team USA jerseys. Some of them. I have three of those Team USA jerseys. I have KD, LeBron, and Curry. You can guess which one for sure I'm gonna put up, but there's another one, a mystery one that no one knows that they might know soon, hopefully. But it's a good site. Um, kind of sketchy, but for $20 a jersey, that is a lock. So
Hey man, I'm. I was gonna say something, but not getting caught on YouTube saying it, but
valid.
but welcome back, guys. We hope you enjoyed your Memorial Day weekend. I was
Yeah.
back home as well, but I stayed until Monday, and the drive back on 94 was absolutely pristine in the morning. I
Oh,
think I
really?
found the right
Okay.
time to go. Um, Anytime other than that, if you go in the middle of the afternoon, it's wraps. You're getting stuck like three or
Yep.
four times. So yeah, thankful to not go for that for too long. But um,
Hmm.
yeah, it's been a doozy. I've um, been picking up some moves and pickup and stuff. So now my behind the back game is pretty good, except when I try to behind the back pass to somebody. I
Nice.
I don't know if they're not ready for it or I'm just a horrible passer when I do that, but I screwed up two times in a row. Second time, I totally reacted on instinct, so I'm still working on that game. But
Nice.
um, yeah, I feel like my game is getting better and better because I'm getting the push cross down to my layup. It's a lot easier than I thought it to be, and um,
That's good.
I'm gonna get a 10-day contract sometime soon. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Alrighty. Um, First conference finals we're going to talk about is the one tonight. Pacers Knicks. I thought this was going to be a sweep going into game three. I was at a friend's house for like
Yeah.
for a party, and then I saw they were up 20, and I'm like, okay, let's just play poker with like fake chips because this is going to be this is good. This is over. And then good thing we kept the TV on. Very last minute up until like eating dinner, like Knicks just like stormed back, and Carl Anthony Towns, Mr. Zesty himself, scored
Yes.
20 in the fourth quarter, and I did not see that coming at all. I'm super happy, like to see him like just completely
Yeah.
made because this is why the Knicks poured all those assets to get him, um, and he might have just given the Knicks a fighting chance. Um,
Yeah.
but foul trouble is what scares me. Talk to me about what you're seeing for this.
Yeah. Um, for the first two games, just insane how the Pacers could win those games in MSG. But also, I think a big thing here is right foul trouble. But in this game three, that kind of helps the Knicks. You go from Brunson having foul trouble. He gets four fouls in the second quarter. He doesn't play as much in the third, doesn't play as much in the fourth besides the end there. And it's so interesting that obviously Jalen Brunson is one of the best players in the league, receives MVP votes, but having him and Cat out there at the same time is really tough defensively because the Pacers can say, oh, who do we want to attack right now? We could pick either Cat or Brunson. And once it's just Cat out there, it's a different game, and you have Deuce McBride who could take that spot and play really good defense and not give up too much. So it's an interesting change. I mean, the big lineup change as well for the starters, different starting lineup for Tibbs. I had heard all about it on podcasts. I was like, we can say all this. Tibbs is not going to change this. Tibbs would rather like sell his firstborn than change his anything in his game plan. But no, he did, and shout out to him. That's the big thing in this game is making adjustments. And
Delon Wright
yeah,
made an appearance.
that was crazy. Delon Shamit as well. If this gets to a game seven, you get kind of worried. We all should know about his streak of what was it like? I think at least three game sevens, 3 years straight. He was in a game seven, and his team lost. With the Suns against my Mavs in 22, Nets in 21, and in 2020. Oh, was he on? He was on the Clippers in 2020. So 3 straight years of Game 7 disappointments on for a team season on. So be careful, Knicks. But yeah, just interesting that not having and the TNT crew just put up this like the Knicks are +8. I don't know if it was in that game or in the series when when Brunson was off the court, -10 when he was on. Very interesting how yeah, not having your best player on the court sometimes, not always, helps your team. So very, especially when he's in foul trouble, that makes sense as well.
Game
So
one,
he's,
they went on a 10-0 run when Brunson went out. So it's definitely something that New York is much improved in. Miles McBride,
yeah,
highest plus minus across the team. I've always liked him as a player. Um, he's playing outstanding so far in the series. I think where I get worried if I'm the Knicks is in this game, although Carl Anthony Towns is like man screen and rolls like
hmm
really well in game three, it's been a problem for him where it's just
yeah,
sometimes he plays on his own. And with him, like you mentioned, with him and Brunson, that's the primary issue here. The thing is with the Pacers, and I'm surprised more NBA teams don't do this because I guess they're star driven and they want to get their
yeah,
stars like one on one like situations. But the Pacers are always running like off ball screens and like plays for their like role players. And you clearly see it making a difference. So it's like whether it's Pascal Siakam or Aaron Neesmith or Andrew Nemhard learning how to play on his own, like it's just from top to bottom, every single player on the Pacers can put the ball on the floor and make quick decisions, make smart decisions despite playing at a fast pace.
hmm
And for the Knicks, it's like it's very
it's ISO
dependent on
ball.
like which kind of Josh Hart you're getting, and then like 90% of the time it's ISO ball with Brunson. So to see this with Cat's kind of open things up for them, yes, but I want to see Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby be a little bit more assertive, because that's just going to take against this Pacers team. We know they're capable of doing it, um, but I still like the Pacers' chances because of the way they play and
Yeah,
the way they put their defenses in a bind. Now they're up and down defensively, but they have the potential to lock it in. Whereas with the New York Knicks, no lead is safe with them
hmm.
on both sides of
Yeah,
the ball. So it's kind of like without an explosive player, without an explosion from Mikal Bridges and Towns, it just feels like they have a smaller margin for error than the Pacers do.
yeah. I guess going to what you were saying about the playstyles, it does feel like the Knicks are on that like ISO Jalen Brunson figure, like give the ball to Jalen Brunson, just let him cook. And we've talked about this many a time with the heliocentric play of Luka Doncic, James Harden. That works, and especially in the regular season, it works. But I don't like having my four other players just staring at the guy with the ball, like, oh yeah, he's doing that stuff. Oh, the pass right here. Like I I like more what the Indiana Pacers do, and you could even compare this to what the beautiful game Spurs do, where everyone's moving, everyone touches the ball, everyone's more dangerous, and you even have like there's a big debate out there of like, oh, here in America we teach people to depend on their athleticism. Like if you have a bag, you're way better than anyone else depending on your bag, and they don't learn necessarily team skills. While in Europe, it's more like Jokic. He not only knows how to score himself, but he knows how to assist others and whatnot. And so it's an interesting style of play difference there as well. That you saying like ISO and stuff, and especially the stuff with Brunson coming out of how they played better without him. Their offense was different, getting Mikal a bit more of the ball. I think that's very interesting. So just the Knicks have everyone touch the ball. Now I'm not saying every time Mikal has to cook or Josh Hart. Josh Hart already gets touches, which is very interesting. But just having more egalitarian and a more egalitarian attack is interesting to me.
The reason why I think it's so important is, especially when you need them in the fourth quarter, to like
Hmm.
just hit heroics and shots. Like if they're just ice
Yeah.
cold because they're barely touching the ball, Like, look what happened to Anthony Edwards yesterday. We'll get to him in a minute, but like, he didn't take that many shots in one half
Yeah.
of last game, and that's often the case with role players in a heliocentric offense. Like, yeah, maybe your star is cooking, but if those guys aren't warm, at some point in time, the Pacers are just going to double and just say, have them beat us. And then you're asking like cold role players to like suddenly get hot. And it's not going to be easy if they're not attacking or they're not knowing
No.
how to play off the bounce and stuff. So it's equally important to get them involved in the first quarter. It shouldn't take a cat 20-point miracle for them to win. That's not sustainable. So
Yep.
I had the Pacers coming out of the series. I think it will be in 6. Um, we'll see tonight, but
Yeah.
because they can grab game 4, I'll just give the Knicks game 5 because they're at home, and then
Mm-hmm.
game 6 I could see them finishing it out. I would
No, that
not
makes
want to push it
sense.
to game 7 if I were the Pacers.
Yeah. I don't know. The Pacers, the Knicks look terrible just with everything with the in the first two games the Knicks did, and now they have a little bit of life. Who knows what this change means? Especially when it went 2-0, I was like a Thunder Nick or Thunder Pacers finals would be really really fun. So personally, I don't really care anymore because either way, it's gonna be a fun finals. Um, but I kind of want the Knicks to win, just because I don't know. To me, it feels like they have a shorter runway here. Like this feels a lot luckier for the Knicks than it does for the Pacers after they've already gotten this far last year and gave the Celtics a competitive sweep, which some of the teams, the Lakers, think they've had before. But you know what I
And the
mean?
Pacers were
So
hurt too, so that's
yeah, so it's interesting. Um, so yeah, I'm saying Knicks. I pick Knicks, and I guess in 7 because I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think they're just gonna rip off a bunch of wins right here.
they're
I
just
think
gonna
they're
come back.
gonna
Yeah.
face some more adversity.
Could you imagine the New York crowd if they win?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. Whatever, at least one like reel or TikTok coming across my feed where it's like, "Let's go, we're in the final." Like that was like a terrible impression. But like I even saw one last week where they won and the guy's like, "I was like, oh, I'm so sorry for Jason Tatum. Psych, let's go. We're in the Western or Eastern Conference Finals." I was like, okay, that was funny, but also like kind of messed up. But that's what like these Knicks fans are
New
insane.
Yorkers, man.
They're pretty wild. So that's literally the only reason. Like I said, either way, we're gonna have a fun finals. But those videos are they're
Did you
getting
see
me
the
through.
headline on the New York newspaper once they won game
No,
3?
what was it?
Chokes on you.
Gosh,
I think it was Cat giving the choke sign, and I'm like, oh my
yeah,
god, they got one game, man, one game, and they're already acting like this. Like I saw
yeah,
posts on like the amount of revenue the city of New York is getting strictly for the games. It's like when the
really.
Knicks are this good, it just puts up that much attention. I'm not saying how I feel about it any particular way, but it's just
It,
they're
it is.
grabbing every attention of New York right now.
And it's a perfect rivalry because you have literally the Indiana Pacers, not the Indianapolis Pacers. This is obviously a city, a metropolitan area, but it's nothing like the mecca of basketball, New York. So you have kind of that Indiana, like we're not the city
Small
slicker
market.
as much as small market, and then you have New York, the the team that should be the king of basketball, the mecca of basketball, with a historic stadium or arena, and then you have Gainbridge Fieldhouse, which is raucous, which is crazy, but it's not as historic as MSG. And they've met several times before. It's a great rivalry, and yeah, yeah,
I don't think I've seen that many people in the state of Indiana that I've had in the field house. That was just shocking to me.
definitely,
Wow, there's
yeah.
that many people. Like
I mean,
that. I
on
guess that's
the
the only thing to do in Indiana.
I know I don't understand. I had an internship, and my manager for that internship was from Indiana. And he's like, I was like, yeah, I love basketball. He's like, oh yeah, I do too. I'm from India. I never understood why do Indiana people from Indiana, why do they love basketball so much? I don't get it. I have no idea why. So
Hoosiers, man.
yeah, I guess that movie, but I don't know if I know there is a movie, but anywho, interesting. And 7 games, another 7 game series for these two teams would be really fun, especially at this level of competition. So
Especially when they're fully healthy. Like every single
yeah,
game has come
yeah.
down to the wire. Like every single one.
Yeah, we've been pretty blessed on that, and even Neesmith tweaking his ankle last game. He's playing tonight.
Oh, that's huge.
It's pretty good. Yeah, yeah, and him just cooking. No one forget that the Celtics traded him away for Malcolm Brogdon. Where's Malcolm Brogdon now? In the end, Malcolm Brogdon helped them win a championship, the Celtics, but you
Dude,
give up.
5 straight threes, game one. That's crazy. Like,
No, I literally I had gotten home, like I had driven to my parents' house. We ate dinner, and I was like, oh, the Knicks. I checked the score. Knicks have this game, but I might as well check. Like, why not? What else do I have to do? I'm so happy I checked in there with like 3 minutes left. It was 14 points. I was like, I should just stay just in case though. And I just get an instant clap. Like I'm gonna be telling my grandkids and children about that game. That was something else.
not the Mavs going to the finals last year.
I mean
That
that as
game, just that
well. We
game.
all know that's like the first thing I'll be like, son, daughter, descendant of mine. This happened, and then we get to the. No, I'm never gonna. That the black Luca jersey from last year. That's actually framed as well. Even though it hurts, you got to remember that
You didn't burn it? Wow.
I could never burn that. It hurts, but it's still like just to just be happy that it happened.
It's okay. It was all part of Nico's plan to get Cooper flag. So,
It had to have been. It's crazy.
alrighty. But they're not facing the Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals. It's the Thunder and the Timberwolves this time.
Yeah,
Um, man, that game
man,
yesterday was rough.
that
I was
was.
rooting so hard for the Timberwolves because
Oh
they
man,
kept storming back every single time, but like
yeah.
Oklahoma would just hit them, like keep them at a distance the entire time. And I think the big thing that stood out to me is Chet, and we said this at the start, but like Chet and Jalen Williams have to be on their A game
Jeez, yeah.
for them to win. They have to be at their A because you see the night and day difference when they completely shut down in game three. That was a game plan of Finch's. When they
Mm-hmm.
shut them down, like you're just asking Shea to do everything. And as deep as OKC is, like they really go as far as like the combination of those trios do.
Mm-hmm.
So to see like when Jalen Williams is just smacking threes and swishing them, and like Chet is being dominant on the glass on both sides and blocking people, it's not much you can do at all.
Yep. Wait. I have a stat. Uh, but I want to confirm one part exactly. Okay, never mind. Basically, the stat was, if you heard on the Athletics Like Daily NBA podcast, the stat was Chet, Shea, and J Dub, Jalen Williams. They combined for 95 points last night. The last Thunder trio to get that much. Oh, perfect. It was right here. Was in 2011. And we can all guess who those three were: Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. But they only got to, was it 94 points? 94 points. So kind of interesting that they've kind of surpassed that team, that trio. But it really was a classic game. One thing I love, I mean, Jalen Williams cooked even from in the first like few minutes. He's hitting threes. You're like, ooh, this is interesting. Both teams hitting haymakers the whole game. Nikhil
Nikhil Alexander
Alexander-Walker.
Walker, man,
Oh
insane.
God, some of those shots he was hitting, they were just a bunch of shots like a drive by Nikhil Alexander-Walker and all. He just goes up with the left. I'm like, that's kind of a wild shot there in transition, and he just hits it. I was like, that's the game we're having. Guys are making shots. This is fun. This is amazing. And one thing I love, Chet's ability to just drive and dunk because he's so long and he's reasonably athletic. The dunks he's hitting were so satisfying, and I think that's a big part of his game. And that's one thing Shea said in the interviews. They don't run anything for him. He just cooks with what he has, and he just makes it work, and it's great. It's awesome. So
He had this
very
one play where he
interesting.
shot a three, it like bounced another Oklahoma City player, and then like all the Wolves are staring in the corner. He just backcuts for a dunk.
Yep. Yeah. And that's such a difficult thing. You play such great defense, and then the rebound goes, and you're like, oh, great, the rebound. We're about to get the rebound, and then
I want to throw all these stats at you real quick.
oh yeah,
The
you got it.
Timberwolves shot it better from the field, 51%.
Right.
Shot it better
Yeah.
from 3-point range, 44%. They out rebounded the Thunder. This is all in game four. scored more points in the paint in transition, off second chance points, had 8 more assists, and 3 more points off turnovers, and made
Gee.
6 more free throws.
Oh, 4.
And their bench outscored the Thunder 64-27,
Gosh.
and they lost.
You win in like 10 stats. That's the thing, right? The box score doesn't tell you everything. And me watching it didn't tell me everything. There was a part of that game in the third quarter where I was struggling to stay awake, but then I locked in for the fourth. But yeah, man, it's it was a wild game. I loved it. People didn't love the fouling up three, all the fouling at the end. I was like, that's the game. I'm not. I honestly
They
didn't
played
even think
smart.
much about
They
that. Yeah,
fouled right before they could even get a shot off, and that's just
yeah.
the smartest thing I've seen. I
Under
don't know
10
why more
seconds as
teams don't
well.
do it.
Yeah, it's a strategic thing, and yeah. I was saying something though.
But I think the key thing, the kind of emblematic of how efficient OKC's defense is,
Hmm.
like the amount of illegal screens that Lou Dort's able to draw, the amount
Yeah.
of bad situations that Lou Dort and Alex Caruso placed on players is incredible. Like these are all stats that aren't counted, and
Hmm.
it puts their points off of turnovers like
Yep.
rating low because it's not considered a turnover. But those are all like just game changing plays, and
Hmm.
um, even keeping the ball out of Anthony Edwards' hands
Yeah.
had a huge impact in the first half. That was enough to like destroy any momentum. And Julius Randle had another horrendous game. So like the combination of both, it was a miracle the Timberwolves were even in this game to begin with.
It's just a way that like Caruso, right? He just guarded Nikola Jokic, the greatest player in the world, not the MVP though. Um, and now he's just frustrating Randall. Like there was one possession where Randall's like kind of in the ball. I think is on the right hand side if you're facing the rim. Randall's on the left block, and Caruso's just like arm on him. He just has his arm on him, and then Randall like slaps it away, arm back on, away. Oh, like they're just hand fighting like this, and it's just that like frustrating, annoying stuff where you're like, bro, you're just pestering me, and that's the point, right? And that's what Caruso does so
You're
well.
getting
Yeah,
his
and that's
mind away from focusing on like what move he needs to try.
yeah. That's the frustrating thing about Dort. I literally saw like I don't know how long of a it was either a reel or like a short YouTube video about like how Lou Dort like he doesn't try to avoid the screen. He kind of like pivots and then somehow he just gets hit in a way that he just like goes horizontal and
He
then
always gets hit
falls.
in the hip, and then
Yeah,
it like he knows how to time it where like he can get around and get hit in the hip, and that's where he's
and
like airborne like 50% of the time.
it's so wild. It's like he's like the James Harden of defense. I feel like he's just found ways to have the refs be like, dang, that looks like a foul. I think I should call that, and then they call it, and then
But then
oh
he's
my
also really savvy where
yeah,
he's not like getting many guys blowing past him, or even if they do, he's
no,
just even a lot of OKC like whenever somebody's going up to drive, they're still looking for the ball. I saw like 2 or 3 plays where Jalen Williams is like running full speed to close off something, but he's looking for the ball the entire time. He's not looking
hmm
for where the player is going in the layup. They're
yeah,
always looking for the ball, and especially once Randall and Edwards get a foot in the paint, it's like it's just they just surround him and crowd him, and
yeah. I mean,
like
there's
it's
who
just
was it?
insane. Like Dante DiVincenzo, Nikhil, like Nasby, they were all hitting from threes, but
Yeah,
it didn't matter.
I mean, it was a classic. Have the others kill you, and they couldn't. They couldn't do it this game, even though it was close. And then just as a one note from Game Three. I know wasn't very exciting, but the biggest thing I noticed is that Rudy. I don't know what the Timberwolves coaching staff did to make Rudy do this more often. But anytime he had the ball, boom, straight over his head. Like there was a moment he got a rebound, got it over, like wiggled around and just like laid it in. And I was like, that's the only way you should have the ball. Because we all know he's notorious for just getting stripped and be like, oh no, where'd the ball go? And in that game I just thought he was so locked into that. And that was really great for them. And yeah, they punched OKC in the mouth. OKC responded and I I want what me personally, I want the Thunder to win tomorrow night, and I want them to go on to the finals because this is a historic team right here, historic. run even. I mean, Shea hitting his career high last night in points in the playoffs. It just feels insane, and I think they've got all the momentum to do this at home. So that's my
I
thought.
just want it for Sam Presti, man. And I'm a Timberwolves fan.
Yeah,
Like to have that many superstars like in your tenure as GM and then not have a single championship, that's
it's
just
true.
I would feel sad, man, if I was in his spot. So
Yeah,
gotta capitalize. That's the only way to do it.
definitely. They ate their breakfast. Now it's time for the big lunch, I guess.
So you're saying Thunder in 5?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So spicy take.
I'm gonna say Thunder in 7 because I think
Gee.
the Wolves have been in this position before. I think they're definitely
Mm-hmm.
gonna get their best in game was it
4.
3-1,
No,
game 5.
yeah, 5.
Game 5, and then
Yeah.
game 6 is back in Minnesota, right? So they have the
Mm-hmm.
momentum there, but game 7, OKC is gonna show out. So
Yeah.
they had close games before, so they can play. They don't play in any environment. I don't think they're scared of anybody. But
Yeah.
um, I think they'll figure out another wrinkle for Randall and Edwards and steal a game on the road, and then have the home court advantage to make another blowout or convincing win. And before you know it, they're right there. So
Dang, the 2 game 7s in the conference finals is a crazy call, but I'm down for it. We're getting near the end, and we need it to be exciting.
yeah, I think the last thing I'll say on Edwards, we barely talked about him at all, but
True.
he's got to assert himself. I know you want to get other people involved, but you got to assert yourself because game 3 had your fingerprints all over the game, and when you get the crowd energized with your defense and your offensive
Mm-hmm.
aggressiveness, good things happen. So I know
Yep.
Thunder are doing everything to limit him, but he's seen every defense in the world at this point. He completely shredded the Lakers, who
Yeah.
had some great schematic defenses. They just didn't work. Um, you're proven, you're scheme proof. So this was
Yeah.
really shocking as far as like the number of shot attempts he got after shooting 32 shots in game 3. So um, and it's got to
Yeah.
be aggressive, like because he naturally makes the right plays, but until he's aggressive, he's not going to force those plays to happen. So
Yeah. No, I agree. And right, he said himself he didn't struggle this game in game 4. Yeah, but he just couldn't. He just didn't get those shots off. He didn't have the opportunity to get the shots off to say that he struggled because he didn't have the amount of points, right? So right, it's getting those shots, trying to be smart about it, and can you execute in this moment? These are big moments right here. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely see them going 7. I kind of want it to be squared away there. I mean, what they had a yeah, if they
why
win
would you do
tomorrow,
that to your boy Terrence Shannon, man? After all
that
the
was
love he's
that
been
was
getting,
insane. Wait, you just never mind. We have to keep talking about this. Terrence Shannon Jr. This is why I didn't understand why he was such a low draft pick. Obviously, there was some slight scandal action that was not true. Okay, that was deemed in a court of law. But now it just sounded mad sus. But anywho, uh, he's literally built like a grown man, and him in transition, anytime I'd see him play at Illinois, I would just be like freight train, freight train, freight train, freight train, because no one is stopping him. And even here in the NBA playoffs, as I think he's a 24-year-old rookie, my man is not stopped. Can get and ones on anyone. I he
his
might
jab
be.
pull up and the at the elbow was like
Mm-hmm.
crazy explosive. And I was like, if you're doing that in the playoffs and confident about it, he should be getting more minutes. Like ninth guy
Yeah.
off the bench is playing out of his mind.
No, he's so good, and he was literally. I think they're saying on the brackets he's the leading scorer in the nation last year. I don't know how true that is, but that seems true. But he's just so athletic, and he can hit threes. And I never understood why he went so low in the draft. Just it's age. The big NBA scouts are so scared to draft older guys just because they have less potential, blah blah blah. But this guy's great, and I'm kind of jealous Timberwolves got him. But he's awesome, and I think he'll help them out next year. I think he could be better than Rob Dillingham on his lineup because Rob Dillingham can't play defense the way Terrence Shannon can. So
I was about to say he's a great matchup on Jalen Williams. Like
yeah,
that's a great matchup for him because they're both athletic. He can keep up with them. Um,
yeah,
So Shannon
We're on the same
shattered
size.
Illinois season scoring record with 736 points. He ranks second in the Big Ten and third in the NCAA with points per game.
Pretty
So
real.
close, but
Yeah.
that guy knows how to score the ball. He reminds me a lot about Cam Thomas, but I think the upside is higher with this guy.
Cam Thomas that drives more than shoots. Although he'll have his step back threes.
I'm just hoping he's the future point guard because imagine him and Ant
Yeah.
in the backcourt. That is special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ow. Yep.
Alrighty. Short one today. Do you have any other thoughts?
No, I just got a bunch of draft stuff in my head, some off-season preview stuff I've been listening to, but nothing crazy. Yeah.
Not even focused on the draft, buddy. I'm just analyzing these games where we'll know the outcome on June 5th, but it's fun to see how you get to this point. So,
Of course. Yeah.
yeah, I would love. Stay tuned for Pacers-Knicks today. I
Hmm.
have Pacers winning this one, but who you got?
I think I don't know if you guys use there's this app called Real where it's basically like you can bet fake money. These things called karma, right? Not real money. I have the Knicks winning. It's 50-50 right now, and I put the Knicks to win. Also on that app you can set your lineup and like get points off that. One game, I forgot what game it was. I was top 10%, and I thought I was him for like a few hours there. I was kind of riding high. I haven't done so well since, but it's okay. Because it's big money. That's why. That's the best part. I can just mess around. I
Number
can just
one
have
in your
fun.
hearts, Diego. Number one in your hearts. That's what matters.
True. Real.
Alrighty, guys. That will do it for us. You can follow us at amon.a.mission on the
Ciao.
Instagram page. Full-length videos are Amon and Mission on the YouTube channel. It's gonna be a fun one. Just absolutely exhausted from this weekend, this first day of work. But
Yeah.
we'll see you guys later next week. Hopefully, with
Hopefully.
our final NBA Finals matchup.
Yeah. It'd be insane. I mean, it could be, right? What, we have 4. This is 4. 5 will be. Yeah, it's definitely possible. I think there might be a game 7 left if both go to 7.
Maybe I'll have to check out the schedule, but they'll at least go 6 games both. So like before we record again.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah, we'll see. Like
All right.
it's looking like Thunder and Pacers, man. But
Yeah.
I'm not ruling out the Knicks or the Wolves. Like they're too good of teams to like completely roll out. But
For sure. All right.
alrighty, guys, you take it easy.
See ya.